beautiful morning. Hope everyone must have the wonderful journey in the 12 forest of Vrindavan, in the association of the Eternal Associate. So those spiritual warriors who joined today was Ishwar Krishna Prabhu, Yamuna Sundari Mataji, Ivy Gautam, Kasturi Manjari Devidasi, Brahmacharis from Houston, Rasika Shiromani Prabhu, Rahul Prabhu, Manani Mataji, Amol and Smita Panchpande, Srika and Pankaj Gupta, Girivardhari Prabhu, Raghav Chaitanya Prabhu, Sri Devi Dasi, Abhay Joshi Prabhu, Murli Prabhu, Samant and Swastika Panchal, Benyamino Prabhu, Sumitra Radha Devi Dasi, Devendra Krishna Prabhu, Srinivas Acharya Prabhu. No, sorry, he didn't join. Tapti Ghosh Mataji, Parsarthi Prabhu, Prathamesh Prabhu, Shriya Devi Dasi, Rohit Mishra Prabhu, Parma Anand Hari Prabhu, Nanda Nandan Priya Mataji, Nadia Kumar Prabhu, Saraswati Devi Dasi, Manmata Anand Prabhu, Shundri Radha Mataji, Tulsi Priya Devi Dasi, Namanan Prabhu, Prem Vinodini Mataji, Janki Khan Prabhu, Lavanga Latika Mataji, Rajendra Prabhu, Kamal Priya Devi Dasi, Raga Bhakti Devi Dasi, Prannath Gopal Prabhu, Radhika Prem Devi Dasi, Raj Vinod Prabhu, Anand Vinodini Devi Dasi, Pandurang Devdas Prabhu, Damodarati Mataji, Madhvi Gopi Mataji, Madhav Charan Prabhu, Ananya Bhakti Devi Dasi, Karunamai Devi Dasi, Amal Nam Prabhu, Kirti Prabhu, Mahiti Konda, Barsana Rani Mataji, Kamini Priya Mataji, Sankarsan Prabhu and Manjari, Advait Prabhu, Shrikant Survase Prabhu, Sachinandan Krishna Prabhu, Sital Priya Devi Dasi, Rashakita Prabhu, Anand Radhika Devi Dasi, Manoj Kapoor Prabhu, Sundar Gopal Prabhu, Arjun Sri Thakur, Lalit and Josna Bora, Balram Prabhu, Ravinder Eram Prabhu, Rashmi Mataji, Kamlesh Dingra Mataji, Pitambar Priya Prabhu, Shyam Sundar Prabhu, Harikatha Devi Dasi, Lekha Mataji, Suchitra Devi Dasi, Sumit Prabhu, Karunya Murti Devi Dasi, Abhay Charan Prabhu, Sukruti Devi Dasi, Rajesh and Sweta. I didn't see Kapoor Mataji today. I think those are the devotees who joined today. So let's hear the wonderful song before we will read from the Brihad Bhagavatamrita. Thank you.
Anadi karama phale paribhavar navajale anadi karama phale paribhavar navajale anadi karama phale Bhavan Vajale Anadi Karama Phale Pari Bhavan Vajale Tori Bare Nade Kiyupa Tori Bare Nade Jale मन कभु सुख नहीं पाए 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 आशा पाश शत शत क्लेश दे अविरत 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 प्रवृत्ति उन्मिलित ही खेला प्रवृत्ति उन्मिलित ही खेला प्रवृत्ति उन्मिलित ही खेला प्रवृत्ति उन्मिलित ही खेला आर काम क्रोध आदि छाय बाट पारे न्याय भय काम क्रोध आदि छाय बाट पारे न्याय भय काम क्रोध आदि छाय बाट पारे दय भय काम क्रोध आदि छाय बाट पारे दय भय अवसान हईल आसी मेला अवसान हईल आसी मेला अवसान हईल आसी बेला अवसान हईल आसी बेला आर ज्ञान कर्म तगदुई मोरे प्रतारियालो ज्ञान कर्म तगदुई मोरे प्रतारियालो आर ज्ञान कर्म ठगदुई मोरे प्रतारियालो ज्ञान कर्म ठगदुई मोरे प्रतारियालो अवशेषे फेले सिंधु जले अवशेषे फेले सिंधु जले अवशेषे फेले सिंधु जले अवशेषे फेले सिंधु जले एहन समये बंधु तुमी कृष्ण कृपा सिंधु एहन समये बंधु तुमी कृष्ण कृपा सिंधु एहन समये बंधु तुमी कृष्ण कृपा सिंधु एहन তোলা মরে বলে
কৃপা করে তোলা মোরে বলে
কৃপা করে তোলা মরে বলে
কৃপা করে তোলা মোরে বলে
আর পথে তবে করে ধরে পাদ পদ্ম ধুলি করি
পতিত করে ধরে পাদ পদ্ম ধুলি করে
আর পথে তকে করে ধরে পাদ পদ্ম ধুলি করি
পতিত করে ধরে পাদ পদ্ম ধুলি করে
দেহ ভক্তি বিনোদয়াশ্রয়
দেহ ভক্তি বিনা দয়াশ্রয়
দেহ ভক্তি বিনোদয়াশ্রয়
দেহ ভক্তি বিনা
আমি তব নিত্য দাস ভুলিয়া মায়ার পাশ।
আমি তব নিত্য দাস ভুলিয়া মায়ার
আমি তব নিত্য দাস ভুলিয়া মায়ার পাশ।
আমি তব নিত্য দাস ভুলিয়া মায়ার
বদ্ধ হয়ে আছি দয়া
বদ্ধ হয়ে আছি দয়া
বদ্ধ হয়ে আছি দয়াময়
বদ্ধ হয়ে আছি
আর অনাদি কর্ম ফলে করে ভবান জলে
অনাদি কর্ম ফলে পরিভবার নব
Thank you very much, Ishwar Krishna Prabhu, for playing a wonderful song of Bhakti Vinod Thakur. So before we speak on the Brihad Bhagavatamrita, I would like to offer my humble obeisances at the desk of the lotus feet of Gopi Pranadhan Prabhu, His Holiness Jayadvaita Swami Maharaj, and His Holiness Keshav Bharati Das Goswami. So we were reading the text number 104, so we will read and then we will continue from there. My dear Lord, I have nothing to say about people who advertise that they have already realized God or that by their realization they have themselves become God. But as far as I'm concerned, I admit frankly that for me, it is not possible to realize you by my body, mind, or speech. What can I say about you, or how can I realize you by my senses? This verse is from Srimad Bhagavatam 10:14-38. So we will continue. Text number 105. My dear Lord, you are the supreme Lord of all creation. Although I sometimes falsely think that I am the master of this universe. I may be the master of this universe, but there are innumerable universes and there are innumerable Brahmas also who preside over these universes. But actually, you are the master of them all as the super soul in everyone's heart. You know everything. Please, therefore, accept me as your surrendered servant. I hope that you will excuse me for disturbing you in your pastime with your friends and cows. This verse is from Srimad Bhagavatam 10:14-39. Text number 106. My dear Lord Krishna, your very name suggests that you are all attractive. The attraction of the sun and moon are all due to you. By the attractions of the sun, you are beautifying the very existence of the Yadu dynasty. With the attractions of the moon, you are enhancing the potency of the land, the demigods, the brahmanas, the cows, and the oceans. Because of your supreme attractions, demons like Kamsa and others are annihilated. Therefore, it is my deliberate conclusion that you are the only worshipable deity within the creation. Accept my humble obeisances until the annihilations of the material world. As long as there is sunshine within this material world, kindly accept my humble obeisances. This verse is from Srimad Bhagavatam 10:14-40. Text number 107. It is quite natural for these Vrindavan inhabitants to thus receive a great personality like you. The herbs, creepers, and plants are also so fortunate to touch your lotus feet. And by your touching the twigs with your hands, these small plants are also made glorious. As for the hills and the rivers, they too are now glorious because you are glancing at them. Above all, the damsels of Braj, the gopis, attracted by your beauty, are the most glorious because you embrace them with your strong arms. This verse is Srimad Bhagavatam 10:15-8. Text number 108. Dear friends, our Vrindavan is proclaiming the glories of the entire earth because this planet is glorified by the lotus footprints of the son of Devaki. Beside that, when Govinda plays his flute, the peacocks immediately become mad. When all the animals and trees and plants, either on the top of the Govardhan hill or in the valley, see the dancing of the peacock, they all stand still and listen to the transcendental sound of the flute with great attention. This verse is Srimad Bhagavatam 10:21-10, text 109. Of all the devotees, this Govardhan hill is the best. O my friends, this hill supply Krishna and Balram along with their cows and cowherd friends with all kind of necessity, water for drinking, very soft grass, caves, fruits, flowers, and vegetables. In this way, the hill offers respect to the Lord. Being touched by the lotus feet of Krishna and Balram, Govardhan Hill appears very jubilant. This verse is Srimad Bhagavatam 10:21-18. The scorching heat of the autumn sunshines was sometimes intolerable, and therefore the clouds in the sky appear in sympathy above Krishna and Balram and their boyfriends while they engage in blowing their flutes. The clouds serve as a soothing umbrella over their heads just to make friendship with Krishna. Text number 111. Even the river Yamuna, being desirous to embrace the lotus feet of Krishna, after hearing the transcendental vibration of his flute, broke her fierce waves to flow very nicely with lotus flowers in her hands, just to present flowers to Mukunda with deep feelings. This verse is Srimad Bhagavatam 10:21-15, text 112. Just by Krishna's association, the trees, plants, and other vegetation in the forest immediately become Krishna conscious. A Krishna conscious person sacrifices everything for Krishna. Although trees and plants are not very advanced in consciousness, by association of Krishna and his friends, they also become Krishna conscious. Then they want to deliver everything, whatever they have, their fruits, flowers, and the honey, incessantly falling from their branches. This verse is Srimad Bhagavatam 10:35-9. Text number 113. I think that the drones that are buzzing all around, you must have been your devotees in their past lives. They cannot leave your company because no one can be a better, more affectionate master than you. You are the original and supreme personality of Godhead, and the drones are just trying to spread your glories by chanting every moment. I think some of them must be great sages, devotees of your Lordship, and they are disguising themselves in the form of drones because they are unable to give up your company for even a moment. Note, this verse is Srimad Bhagavatam 10:15-6, text 114. Krishna would play his flute, and together the sound became so sweet to hear that together the aquatics, the cranes, swans, and ducks, and other birds were charmed. Instead of swimming or flying, they become stunned. They closed their eyes and entered a trance of meditation in worship of Krishna. This verse is Srimad Bhagavatam 10:35-11. Text number 115. My dear mother, the birds who are all looking at Krishna playing on his flute are sitting very attentively on the branches and twigs of different trees. From their future, it appears that they have forgotten everything and are engaged only in hearing Krishna's flute. This proves that they are not ordinary birds. They are great sages and devotees. And just to hear Krishna's flute, they have appeared in Vrindavan forest as birds. This verse is Srimad Bhagavatam 10:21-14, text 116. Blessed are all these foolish deer because they have approached Maharaj Nandan, who is gorgeously dressed and is playing on his flute. Indeed, both the doe and the bucks worship the Lord with looks of love and affection. This verse is Srimad Bhagavatam 10:21-11, text 117. My dear friends, the cows are also charmed as soon as they hear the transcendental sound of the flute of Krishna. It sounds to them like the pouring of nectar, and they immediately spread their long ears just to catch the liquid nectar of the flute. As for the cows, they are seen with the nipples of their mothers pressed in their mouths, but they cannot suck the milk. They remain struck with devotion, and tears glide down their eyes, illustrating vividly how they are embracing Krishna heart to heart. This verse is Srimad Bhagavatam 10:21-13, text 118. When Krishna plays his flute, all the cows and other animals of Vrindavan, although engaged in eating, simply take a morsel of food in their mouths and stop chewing. Their ears raise up and they become stunned. They do not appear alive, but like painted animals. Krishna's flute playing is so attractive that even the animals become enchanted. And what to speak of ourselves? This verse is Srimad Bhagavatam 10:35, 5, text 119. The wanton aborigine girls also become fully satisfied when they smeared their faces and breast with the dust of Vrindavan, which was reddish with the touch of Krishna's lotus feet. The Aborigine girls had very full breasts and they were also very lusty. But when their lovers felt their breast, they were not very satisfied. When they came out in the midst of the forest, they saw that while Krishna was walking, some of the leaves and creepers of Vrindavan turned reddish from the kumkum powder which fell from his lotus feet. His lotus feet were held by the gopis on their breasts, which were also smeared with kumkum powder. But when Krishna traveled in Vrindavan forest with Balram and his boyfriends, the reddish powder fell on the ground of the Vrindavan forest. So the lusty aborigine girls, while looking toward Krishna playing on his flute, saw the reddish kumkum on the ground and immediately took it and smeared it over their faces and breast. In this way, they become fully satisfied, although they were not satisfied when their lovers touched their breast. This verse is Srimad Bhagavatam 10:21-17, text 120. Sometime Krishna would go to a somewhat distant place to see the beauty of the forest. Then all the other boys would run to accompany him, each one saying, I shall be the first to run and touch Krishna. I shall touch Krishna first. In this way, they enjoy life by repeatedly touching Krishna. This verse is Srimad Bhagavatam 10:12-6, text 121. In, in this way, all the cowherd boys used to play with Krishna, who is the source of the Brahman effulgence for grannies desiring to merge into that effulgence, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead for devotees who have accepted eternal servitorship and who for ordinary person is but another ordinary child. The cowherd boys, having accumulated the result of pious activities for many lives, were able to associate in this way with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. How can one explain their good fortune? This verse is Srimad Bhagavatam 10, 12, 11. Text number 122. Yogis may undergo severe austerity and penances for many births by practicing yama, niyama, asana, and pranayama, none of which are easily performed. Yet, in due course of time, when these yogis attain the perfection of controlling the mind, they will still be unable to taste even a particle of dust from the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When then can we describe about the great fortune of the inhabitants of Brajbhumi, Vrindavan, with whom the Supreme Personality of Godhead personally lived and who saw the Lord face to face? This verse is Srimad Bhagavatam 10, 12, 12. Text 123. When Krishna would feel tired and fatigued, he would sometimes take shelter of the root of a big tree or lap of a cowherd boy and lie down. This verse is Srimad Bhagavatam 10, 15, 16. Text 124. When he would lie down with a boy or root as his pillow, some of the boys would come and massage his legs, and some would fan his body with a fan made from leaves. This verse is Srimad Bhagavatam 10, 15, 17. Text number 125. Some of the more talented boys would sing in very sweet voices to please him. This verse is Srimad Bhagavatam 10, 15, 18. O learned Brahmana, Mother Yashoda's breast milk was sucked by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. What past auspicious activity did she and Nand Maharaj perform to achieve such perfection in aesthetic love? This verse is Srimad Bhagavatam 10, 8, 46. Text 127. Thereafter, O Maharaj Pariksit, best of the Bharatas, when the Supreme Personality of Godhead become the son of Nand Maharaj and Yasoda, they maintain continuous, unswearing devotional love in parental affection. And in their association, all the other inhabitants of Vrindavan, the Gopas and the Gopis, develop the culture of Krishna Bhakti. This verse is Srimad Bhagavatam 10, 8, 51. Text 128. O Maharaj Pariksit, best of the Kurus, Nanda Maharaj was very liberal and simple. He immediately took his son Krishna on his lap as if Krishna has returned from death. And by formally smelling his son's head, Nand Maharaj undoubtedly enjoyed transcendental bliss. This verse is Srimad Bhagavatam 10, 6, 43. Sorry, text 129. Because of Mother Yashoda's hard labor, her whole body became covered with perspiration, and the flowers and comb were falling from her hair. When child Krishna saw his mother thus fatigued, he became merciful to her and agreed to be bound. This was Srimad Bhagavatam 10:9-18. Text 130. Neither Lord Brahma nor Lord Shiva, nor even the goddesses of fortune, who is always the better half of the Supreme Lord, can obtain from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the deliverer from this material world, such mercy as was received by Mother Yasoda. This verse is Srimad Bhagavatam 10:9-20, text 131-132. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is the bestower of many benedictions, including liberation or oneness with the Brahman effulgence. For that Supreme Personality of Godhead, the gopis always felt maternal love, and Krishna sucked their breast with full satisfaction. Therefore, because of the relationship as mother and son, although the gopis were engaged in various family activities, one should never think that they return to this material world after leaving their bodies. Note this verse is Srimad Bhagavatam 10:6, 39 and 40. Text number 133. In the evening, Krishna and Balaram, along with the boys and cows, return to Vrindavan playing their flutes. As they approached the village, all the gopis became very joyous. Throughout the day, the gopis used to think of Krishna while he was in the forest. And his absence, they were considering one moment to be like 12 years. This verse is Srimad Bhagavatam 10:19-16. Text number 134. The gopis' mind and intelligence became absorbed in thought of Krishna. They all imitated the activities of Krishna and his speeches. Due to their heart and soul being completely given to Krishna, they began to chant his glories, completely forgetting their family interest. This verse is Srimad Bhagavatam 10:30-43. Text 135. What austerity must the gopis have performed? With their eyes, they always drink the nectar of Lord Krishna's form, which is the essence of loveliness and is not to be equal or surpassed. That loveliness is the only abode of beauty, fame, and opulence. It is perfect, ever fresh, and extremely rare. This verse is Srimad Bhagavatam 10:44-15. Text number 136. The gopis are so fortunate that they can see and think of Krishna 24 hours a day, beginning from their milking the cows or husking the paddy or churning the butter in the morning. When engaged in gathering fuel, riding on swings, taking care of crying babies, cleaning their houses, and washing their floors, they are always absorbed in the thought of Krishna. Their hearts full of love for him, and their throats stopped with tears. They always sing of his glories. This verse is Srimad Bhagavatam 10:44-15, text number 137. My dear friends, we must accept the gopis' activities to be the highest form of piety. Otherwise, how could they have achieved the opportunity of seeing Krishna both morning and evening when he goes to the pasturing ground with his cows and cowherd boyfriends and return in the evening? They frequently see him playing on his flute and smiling very brilliantly. This verse is Srimad Bhagavatam 10:44-16. Text 138. I am not able to repay my debt for your spotless service, even within a lifetime of Brahma. Your connection with me is beyond reproach. You have worshipped me, cutting off all domestic ties, which are difficult to break. Therefore, please let your own glorious deeds be your compensation. Text 139. My dear gentle friend Uddhava, please go immediately to Vrindavan and try to pacify my father and mother, Nand Maharaj and Yasoda Devi and the gopis. They are very much grief stricken, as if suffering from great ailments. Go and give them a message. I hope their ailments will be partially relieved. This verse is Srimad Bhagavatam 10:36 3. Text 140. The gopis are always absorbed in thought of me. They have dedicated body, desire, life, and soul to me. I'm anxious not only for the gopis, but for anyone who sacrifices society, friendship, love, and personal comfort for me. It is my duty to protect such exalted devotees. Text 141. The gopis are the most dear. They are always thinking of me in such a way that they remain overwhelmed and almost dead in anxiety due to separation from me. This verse is Srimad Bhagavatam 10:46 5. Text 142. They are keeping alive simply by thinking that I'm returning to them very soon. This verse is Srimad Bhagavatam 10:46 6. Text 143. When Akrura took Balram and myself to Mathura, the gopis, their hearts full of love for me, become overcome with the pain of separation. They could not see happiness anywhere. This verse is Srimad Bhagavatam 11:12-10. Text 144. O gentle one, when I, their beloved, was with them in Vrindavan, the gopis' night passed as half a moment. Now, without me, they pass as a kalpa. This verse is Srimad Bhagavatam 11:12-11. Text 145. Their hearts tied to me. The gopis were not aware even of their own selves. They become like sages absorbed in meditation and unaware of the world of material names and forms, or like rivers that have entered the ocean. This verse is Srimad Bhagavatam 11:12-12. Text 146. desiring me as their paramour and unaware of my true nature. Hundreds and thousands of gopi attain me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This verse is Srimad Bhagavatam 11, 12, 13, text number 147. Let me see. Among all the living entities who have accepted the human form of life, very relevant to us, so listen attentively. The gopis are super accidentally successful in their mission. Their thought is thoroughly absorbed in the lotus feet of Krishna. Great sages and saintly persons are also trying to be absorbed in meditation upon the lotus feet of Krishna, who is Mukunda himself, the giver of liberation. But the gopis, having lovingly accepted the Lord, are automatically accustomed to this habit. They do not depend on any yogic practice. The conclusion is that one who has attained the gopis conditions of life does not have to take birth as Lord Brahma or be born in a Brahmana family or initiated as a Brahmana. This verse is Srimad Bhagavatam 10:47-58. Text 148. The gopis were not born of any highly cultured family. They were born of cowherd men, and yet they developed the highest love of Krishna. For self-realization or God realization, there is no need to take birth in a high family. The only thing needed is aesthetic development of love of God. In achieving perfection in Krishna consciousness, no other qualification is required than to be constantly engaged in the loving service of Krishna. Krishna is the supreme nectar, the reservoir of all pleasure. The effect of taking up Krishna consciousness is just like that of drinking nectar. With or without one's knowledge, it will act. Like when we take the medicine, we don't know how it acts, but it helps. That's 149. When Lord Shri Krishna was dancing with the gopis in Rasa Lila, the gopis were embraced by the arm of the Lord. This transcendental favor was never bestowed upon the goddesses of fortune or other consort in the spiritual world. Indeed, never was such a thing even imagined by the most beautiful girls in the heavenly planets, whose bodily luster and aroma resemble the lotus flower. And what to speak of worldly women who are very beautiful according to material estimation. Note this verse is Srimad Bhagavatam 10:47-60. Text 150. The gopis of Vrindavan have given up the association of their husband, sons, and other family members, who are very difficult to give up, and they have forsaken the path of chastity to take shelter of the lotus feet of Mukunda Krishna, which one should search for by Vedic knowledge. Oh, let me be fortunate enough to be one of the bushes, creepers, or herbs in Vrindavan, because the gopis trample them and bless them with the dust of the lotus feet. This verse is Srimad Bhagavatam 10:49. 4761. So I think we are very close to 7:50. Today is Saturday. The time for question, answer, reflection, correction, chastisements. Please open up whatever the feeling or the practice that you have been doing, and Krishna reciprocate with you in any way. Please enlighten everyone with your realizations. So, as known, I will give you the 20 seconds to see that if anybody can come forward to share with them some realizations. So here is the 20 seconds. Haribol. Nobody said anything. Must be totally absorbed in the descriptions of Vrindavan and the
Hare
feelings.
Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Prabhuji,
Yes,
you read that portion is how the Krishna's from feet, the blood is coming out when he's walking and all that. Can you explain that little bit?
I cannot hear you properly, Mother. Something is cutting off and some noise
Yeah,
is.
because I'm driving, going to temple because of Ramapada.
No, I know that you are Sanarani, but I can't hear you everything what you are saying for some reason.
Okay, let me speak loudly. Now you can hear me? Hare Krishna.
Yes.
So this small question is the portion you read says in the book, okay, when Krishna is walking and all that in Vrindavan, sometime blood dhara coming out. That's something not I understood. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
It's not, you say that what I hear is when Krishna walks in the forest, sometimes some blood come or something. And what is your question? Because I can't hear you completely, Mother, for whatever reason. I don't know if someone can hear clearly, can they repeat that question?
Prabhu Mataji is asking that you read, and that's what Mataji heard, I think, that Mataji is asking when Krishna walks in Vrindavan, sometimes the blood comes out of his legs or feet. So she's trying to understand, or she's asking you, requesting you to elaborate a little bit more on that.
Your voice is also cracking up, Prabhuji. I don't know, something wrong with my Chromebook or something. Is anybody? Yes, so that blood come out, that I hear, but what is the real question?
She's just requesting you to elaborate on that, explain more on that.
It was not clear, Prabhu, it was cut off. Can you type the question in the chat box? Whoever has understood her question, can they type on the chat box?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Balram here.
Hari Bol, Prabhuji.
Yeah, what they are saying is when sometimes Krishna walks in Vrindavan, sometimes blood comes out of its feet. So could you please be more elaborative on that? They would like to understand that, why it comes out.
I didn't hear.
Is Maharaj class now? Maharaj came already?
Can somebody type on the chat box the question rather than sending, because I don't know, that may be the problem with my Chromebook or something. but I can't hear completely. Even, the Pran Gopal Prabhu try, Pranath Gopal Prabhu and Balram Prabhu, but I didn't hear. She's just requesting to elaborate on pastime. Then when Krishna, what was that?
Maybe if they can write down the question in the chat.
Yes. Then Krishna walks, blood comes from his leg. She wants you to elaborate on blood coming out of the Krishna's body. I don't know what you want me to elaborate on the blood coming out from the Krishna's body. Do you have any thought, Mate, yourself? In which term you want me to describe? I don't know. I have not heard. We read everything, but I have not heard or come across that when Krishna walks, the blood come out from his feet. Where did you read it, Mate?
You explained something like when he's going and ecstasy and something like blood come out sometime from his eyes and some feet, and there's something I heard like that.
Your voice is like it's giving some echo, so I can't understand.
It's okay, Prabhuji. We don't need to waste too much time for one little thing.
Okay.
So next time
Thank you. I have not heard yet that Krishna walks in the forest and blood come out. I have not come across, but I'll find it out from other people. And if I find something, I'll let you know.
I think is that Mataji might have confused it from Sindhur to blood, because Sindhur had the red color. When you mentioned about red color, I don't know.
Yeah, Prabhuji, you're talking about kumkum. I think she confused about kumkum and blood.
Thank you.
Yeah, kumkum is there that we read from because the Krishna's lotus feet touch the breast of the gopi where they have the kumkum. So that goes on the ground, but I have not heard the real blood coming out from Krishna's feet. So I have to search for it. If you find somewhere in whichever verse in Srimad Bhagavatam, I would like to know if anybody come across that real blood come out from the Krishna's lotus feet, because I have not read yet. Any other questions, comment, or any reflections that you may want to share? Anyone?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hari Bol, Girivardhari Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Please accept my humble obeisances to you and all the Vaishnava devotees around the call. So I have a real deep appreciation for you, Prabhu. I think because of your this morning call, I think last week, before that last week, then my Guru Maharaj Vyasa Puja was there. I got an opportunity to meet two exalted Vaishnavas who are in the call on it, Raghava Chaitanya Prabhu and Ramachandra Prabhu. And I think it was a great opportunity for me to, I think I was appreciating deep my heart, both you and Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj for setting up so great opportunity, whether you are not there, but at least you are getting an association of these Vaishnavas just to meet them and re- relish their nice uh, their realizations and their sharings around with it. And I have I was really appreciating that. Otherwise I won't get a chance to meet them. I don't even know who they are. So I think it was a nice setting which Prabhupada has given us, where we can uplift ourselves by associating with those devotees. So that is one point. And I think I just relate was when you were reading about how these gopis, they were absorbed in Krishna while doing their activities, right? So I was Guru Maharaj during the Vyasa Puja, he was giving he was elaborating on how Sanatan Goswami, right, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was testing Sanatan Goswami, I think when he was asking him to meet at his place, he was avoiding the Puri temple and he was walking on the beach. And Prabhu Maharaj was explaining when he was walking, his foot were his foot were having blisters, and he was thinking. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was asking, you didn't focused on your feet getting blisters, but when he was explaining, saying that I was absorbed, when you are absorbed in your guru, I think I was thinking the same point is like when you are absorbed on something and higher consciousness person, then the smaller things you don't even remember them. So it was really a nice teaching. So I think we think about our pains and those things, but you don't think about the object on which. I think focus was to have it on the object of love. If you focus it, you don't feel that pain. So those were something which I want to share. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. Yeah, still I think maybe that the internet connections or something, I was able to grasp Giridhari Prabhu, whatever he says, maybe 85%, but something was not clear because of maybe internet connection is not that strong where I am. But thank you very much for sharing. I realized that I understood the way. If everyone can hear me properly,
we can hear
or
you,
it
Prabhu.
was also the
We can hear you, Prabhu, clearly.
Oh, I see. Okay, thank you. So I think yours also, I was able to grasp like 85, 90%, but other devotees, it was difficult. Yeah, when we, if you see the life of the great Vaishnavas, that when they had the pain, they never feel the pain actually. They relish every moment, no matter what the Krishna give them, happiness, distress, or live in a heaven, hell for them. As long as they get the service of Krishna, they completely satisfied. They are not looking at the external things. Like, yesterday, I posted the class of my Guru Maharaj. And he was giving the class in Dallas. And then he made it the point at the end that now I'm going to go to Northport, like he was going to Chicago. So he made the point that I'm leaving the hot, good weather and I will have to face that icy weathers. But for devotees, at the end, he says that wherever Krishna, there is an opportunity to glorify Krishna, we should take it and not look at the external things like cold, warm. So that was also a wonderful point, coincide with our discussion. And there are so many classes of the Prahlad Maharaj lifetime is there. So I'm gonna post all of them one at a day. Sorry that sometime I didn't get a chance because of my travel plan. So I miss to send on a regular basis, but I think from today, at least I'll post one class. I think yesterday I posted class number 5. So I'll be sending today class number 6 and onwards. There are, I think, minimum 25 classes he has given on Prahlad Maharaj. So it's wonderful to hear those wonderful pastimes. Anybody has any other question, comment, or reflections that they would like to share? It would be nice to hear.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hari Bol, Kamini Priya Madadi.
Prabhu, I have a general question. I always see that our ISKCON Houston calendar, it always have like Ekadashi dates, sometimes it's correct, sometimes it's not correct. Prabhu, why is that?
Our Ekadashi date are not correct.
Yeah, I mean, most of the time, it's we have to check website or we have to check Vaishnava calendar online. Why our calendar does not have
So
why
the
it's not
calendar,
always so accurate?
so calendar that posted on our website is not always correct. That's the point.
No, website is always correct, but the physical calendar, the calendar that we get from ISKCON, right?
The calendar we post ISKCON of Houston on our website, that is not correct. That's the question.
That is
I think
correct.
I think I can take this one, Prabhuji, a little bit. Maybe my understanding is that the calendar, the physical calendar which you get in our temple is not specific to Houston, but is specific to Americas region, if I'm not wrong. But the calendar which is posted on our ISKCON Houston website is specific to Houston. This is my opinion.
Oh yeah, okay. So they are talking about the BBT calendar that we distribute to the devotees and the member, right? Yes, those dates will not match with the Houston because every region has their own calendar, and I think they use that to produce, for the different temple, sometime it may be the same with Dallas and Houston or the California and ours. Sometimes it's different, but it has been produced by the very nice astronomical way they calculate for each temple. And so when we see that calendar that produced by the BBT, it may not match with exit on Houston calendar. But I think that the best way to see is to go to our website and see those dates for the Ekadasi for the Houston temple. And I think they post all the correct dates. Am I right, Raghav Chaitanya Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu, the
I think
website is correct.
Yeah. So I think it's a best thing that we should check on our website rather than relying on the calendar, because that's a BBT calendar.
Okay, Prabhu, thank you.
Anything else? We have 12 more minutes.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Bol.
Humble obeisances. All goes to Prabhupada.
Done with them.
Yeah, so the exercise that you mentioned in today's meditation, it was really eye-opening and introspective, because times I go with the flow without even contemplating as to why I'm doing, as to what I am doing. Am I really wanting my relationship with Krishna, or Krishna is just a warehouse wherein I want stuff all the time, or profits all the time? It's kind of merchant relationship, so it puts me in an introspective mood. So very grateful for the exercise that you give, Prabhu, today. And yeah, I just practiced it, and on a daily basis I would like to cultivate that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Whichever the exercise, that meditation work we can utilize, we will be covering so many from this book. I think from tomorrow, we will be going to the third stage of chanting in Seva. And there will be exercise in Seva. Then there will be meditation, different exercise in the Vipralamba, means in separation. There is some fireworks going on over here. So excuse me. And then at the final, we will have some exercise about the total surrender to Krishna. So these are all different stages, and there will be wonderful exercise that Sachinandan Swami Maharaj has given us. So I think we should take advantage of those things. And like Shamsundar Prabhu says, that when we take active part like this, Krishna will help us. But thank you very much, Shamsundar Prabhu. I know that you sent me the text that there was some hitting noise or something you said, and you are going to take the time to write your own. That's a very nice exercise. Thank you for sharing.
Prabhu.
And how old the Gopi Priya Mataji is? Your daughter, Shamsundar Prabhu?
He is almost 9, Prabhu.
9, okay. Because your Guru Maharaj was asking, I was talking about her chanting. And Maharaj was saying, and then I say first, maybe 7 or 8, but then I say maybe it may be 9-year-old. So thank you for clarifying.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Anyone else want to share something?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hari Bol Girivardhari Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, can you send that today's exercise in the WhatsApp group, Prabhu? I think somehow it flashed out and went off, Prabhu, for me.
What did you say, Prabhu? I didn't get it.
So today's exercise, what you asked us to do it, right, Prabhu? That exercise, can you send it in WhatsApp group, the group you have it?
Mm-hmm. I posted on both groups, Prabhu, today's meditation.
Okay, I'll check that, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Normally I checked on it. Someone, Prabhu, sent me within few minutes, and I right away posted to both groups. I have 2 groups, one on WhatsApp and one on Signal, and I post on both groups. And once they will give me at 6:25, I will post those also later. And also I'll post one more class on the Prahlad Maharaj today.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hari Bol.
Thank you very much. Anybody else has to say anything? It is so nice that I'm able to join. It's a different time and it's different feelings, but it's working out so nice that at least, I can chant with you all. That's my desire, and Krishna is fulfilling. Only the time I will miss you all when I travel or something, but I would like to maintain this schedule. It's so nice.
Thank you for your steadfast determination.
Devotees, so wonderful. Yes, Shamsundar Prabhu, you want to say something?
Thank you so much for your steadfast determination and walking. You are a live example for me to follow.
Yeah. I was thinking that, we have to utilize the time more and more for Krishna service, and Krishna make the arrangement like that, the travel. So I really feel fortunate that to get everybody's association. I don't want to miss it, like wherever I go, I think whatever time it is, I will try to join and get your all association. It's so sublime to chant with the devotees that we know. It has a very good effect. So So we have few more minutes left. 6 minutes. Pitambar Priya Prabhu, would you like to share anything? You are also taking a lot of austerity to join from Tempe, Arizona. Are you there, Pitambar Priya Prabhu?
Hari Krishna Prabhu, can I share something?
Hari Katha Mataji, Hari Bol.
Yeah, I was thinking, Prabhu, yesterday we went for a program and I was planning to come early, but it couldn't happen. And there were devotees chanting at night, also night, 9 o'clock, they have 6 rounds left, 8, some was telling 8 rounds left. I was very grateful for this. I was feeling very grateful for you and this Sangha, where there is regulation, there is this, because of this Sangha, there is some kind of accountability, and there is some inspiration to come regularly and chant, so that it's these days I'm really looking forward. Prabhu, chanting means it's not so dry as it was before. It's very enlivening. It's very enlivening coming and chanting with all the devotees. It's giving me so much of light, Prabhu, so much of I'm searching for the right word. It's becoming very personal. There is a relationship, Prabhu. There is a relationship with the Sangha. Like this is where I belong, and yeah, it's so wonderful to be with everybody and chant and taking the holy name seriously. It's not something. It's something which I was not paying much attention to before, but now it's more of a relationship with the holy name.
Yes.
Trying to at least coming to the point of adoring the holy name. It's and this all happened because of devotee association. Probably I was thinking, like, because they don't have, if they have, everybody have very good devotee association, but nobody is there to guide, to chant. When devotee was telling me, I don't chant in the mornings, I chant only in the evenings. That where I feel like chanting. I do all my 16 rounds in the evening. So I was thinking, morning chanting is very blissful, but I don't know about evening chanting. I didn't have that much relationship to tell to the devotee. I was just listening, but I was feeling very grateful for this Sangha, Prabhu. I just wanted to share that.
Thank you, Harikatha Mataji. Yeah, it's so powerful. Just because we started, I think 3 years ago, at least I have not missed, accepted traveling or something. Otherwise, I have always joined. So if you don't have it, I don't think that I have maintained that steadiness. So it's a really nice thing, actually joining in the morning, spending the time with the devotees and chanting the round finish in the morning. It's so sublime. And we will get that, we may not see the benefit, but we are accumulating so many good things that Krishna may invoke his mercy someday upon all of us. It's very good. I'm so happy. That's why even wherever I travel, it doesn't make any difference what time zone I'm in, but I will try to join. It has given a great benefit to me. And I'm really deeply appreciating all of your association. Wonderful. I have heard you, Harikatha Mataji, and I think if you will put more on the chanting when you chant the Rama, think about the Radha Ramanji relishing the transcendental pastimes. So you will get more and more attraction. So it would be very pleasing to your heart and mind if you put a little more stress on Rama Rama, right?
Sure, Prabhu. Thank you.
Yes. So we have one more minute. So I think let's always remain happy, jubilant, and totally fearless. When we surrender our life, we don't have to worry about anything. Krishna is so kind, he will take care of us very nicely than what we can take care of ourselves. So in those respect, we should be totally fearless. And whoever we come across, we should give them the kind word that their life can also become successful. With those thoughts, I would like to offer my humble obeisances at the desk of these wonderful devotees there who take austerities to join every day. And I can see on the screen, everybody has their timing to join. And I'm so happy to see that everybody is getting steady in their practices. So I would like to offer my humble obeisances at the desk of these wonderful devotees who joined from Houston, from New Jersey, from Boston, Virginia, Boise, St. Louis, Alachua, Montreal, San Jose, Phoenix, Tempe, Arizona, and Brampton, Ontario. Vanchakalpatarubhasya kripa sindhubhaya vacha. Patitanam
Patitana
pavanebhyo.
pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo.
Thank you very
And
much.